Doja Cat's rise to the top of the pop and rap echelon is something that we'll be studying for years. From her viral single Moo to scoring her first solo #1 with the defiant Paint the Town Red, Doja's undeniably a star. I've been a fan ever since the overlooked Amala. I've always found Doja's wordplay to be her strongest asset. So when Say So off her sophomore record Hot Pink took TikTok and the world by storm and shot her into the mainstream, a lot of people like me wondered where she was gonna go artistically. Planet her third album, was pop rap perfection, but it was clear by 2021 that Doja was frustrated with that sort of distinction. In spite of winning many awards and collecting many top 10s, she always seemed to signal that this wasn't what she wanted to make. She eventually declared that she was done with pop, even calling her older works cash grabs. At one point, this new album was titled Hellmouth, and another title, First of All, was dropped before Scarlet was chosen. Scarlet is also the name of this alter ego for this era. The lead up to the Scarlet era has been messy online, with numerous different beefs ranging from the whole country of Paraguay to an actor, Noah Schnapp, to her own fan base when she denounced the name Kittens, telling her fans to get a job. That very last one actually lost her 250,000 Instagram followers and caused a few fan pages of hers to deactivate. In spite of all of that, she managed to sell out a tour and score her very first solo #1 single. Scarlet is her fourth album. It is a dark slice of hip-hop, fully written by Doja, no features, not a single Dr. Luke credit, 17 tracks amounting to nearly an hour of clever bars, dreamy hooks, and arena-ready bangers. It may be early, but I do think that this is her magnum opus so far. It's this perfect mix of her zeitgeisty understanding of pop culture and her innate desire to really prove herself as a technical rap queen. To really talk about Scarlet, we need to talk about how this album is divided into two distinct halves. After listening, I found an interview where she revealed that Attention, Paint the Town Red, and Demons all came from a session that took place before the rest of the album had been recorded, which does help explain why there's this cool divide between the first halves and the second halves. The first half of the record feels like a natural progression and evolution away from Planet Her's sound. It's non-stop upbeat Doja. Of all of these songs, I could see Ouchies and Gun being singles at some point, but any of these songs would work. As an opener, Paint the Town Red was genius. It's snappy, a smash hit. The Dionne Warwick sample fits the context of the song. It's likely the one that casual fans will remember this album most for. It's conventional, clean, aggressive. It scratches the itch for the general public, and it's the closest to pop that we'll get on this record, and arguably the worst track on the record, which speaks to the strength of this album. Demons really reminded me of some of the earlier work of Tyler the Creator. She really completely sheds this pop pretense for a straight-up horror-inspired trap bop where her voice bounces from airy and light to nails on a chalkboard aggressive screeches. The little string sample really does sell the menace of the song. Wet Vagina is the kind of track that sounds like a one-note joke, but the verses here really give us a glimpse into Doja's mind. Verse 2 reminds us that she's just like us, playing video games and keeping up with the Kardashians, before she pivots at the end to remind us that she is a star. FTG's a technical showcase with a chanty, chatty chorus, and verses that escalate and punctuate the hook. My favorite track from this section has to be Ouchies. It's so unique sounding. That chorus is a curveball that really gets stuck in your head. The instrumental itself is just stunning. The barking synths, the little chimes that float in and out. It almost feels like fighting video game music, like the instrumental would eat on a Mortal Kombat stage. London on the track really outdid himself on this one. We need to talk about Doja's synergy with her instrumentals. It's like a fundamental that she gets very right. One track, Go Off, really stuck with me because I was in this trance, and then a line, She Snapped Just Like a Pocky, reminded me that only Doja can come up with some of these verses. Her confidence, personality, and connection to the late millennial, early Gen Z culture, it really does set her apart from her peers. From Agora Hills onward, we really get a more experimental Doja who showcases her ability to meld genres. There's like a lot of mid-tempo tracks that normally would feel like a speed bump for other artists, but here they really do serve as a highlight. Agora Hills is a personal standout for me because of her ability to create characters and headspaces. Only Doja could make a line like Fortnite, I'ma need your skin, don't give a fuck where that penis been work. That shift between her standard cadence and this Valley Girl accent had me gagged. Can't Wait, another track that I want to call out, demonstrates her range. You got this angelic hook and then a tonal shift with really solid masculine verses. It's almost like she's a feature on her own song. She knows that there's a distinction between how she raps and sings, and she really pronounces it deeper on this record than her previous work. We've seen her do this before, but here it's very effortless. Fans who are angered by Doja's seemingly erratic behavior should take solace solace in love life. It's an ode to who she's grateful for. Between a solid bassline, hypnotic ad-libs, and a steady hand, Doja lifts the veil of a hardened badass to reassure her diehard supporters that she truly does love them. Skull and Bones starts a trilogy of tracks that I believe are the thesis of Scarlet. This track addresses so much. For one, it's a proclamation that she got to where she is through talent and not satanic rituals. I'm really old, but she name dropped Helga Pataki from Hey Arnold, which really got me. She references beating the 27 Club allegations. The chorus is a defiant statement that she's only human, skull, bones, and soul intact. I already dug Attention. It was a promo single that I really did like, but it makes a lot more sense on the final record. It's just straight up a jazz-infused, set the record straight anthem. She calls out everybody, you know, from her fans picking her apart for her choices, to people who have monetized their hatred for her, to people starting beefs on her behalf. It's just frustration after frustration with all of this attention paid to her because celebrity, the nature of it is parasocial. Balut refers to a Filipino dish, think steamed fertilized duck egg. Doja got some flack for explaining that the song had been a metaphor for a bird being eaten alive, even though Filipino fans did make statements that the bird is already dead. She explained that the song was a metaphor in a way with her relationship with Twitter, but listening to the track, the song itself is actually a solid closer if we don't count the freestyle. I like the onomatopoeia effect that she uses in one of the chorus. There's a line about taking candy from a baby where she does a little rattle sound. One thing that I really have to say is ballsy is in the second verse, she actually does admit to being a copycat of some sort. Like, she is inspired by certain flows, and then she goes on to say that people who copy her just cannot copy her stats. And it's just fascinating to hear in a more litigious music publishing world where people get sued for anything. The WYM freestyle is a last minute addition, but it's very welcome to me. It feels like an upbeat victory lap to remind us one last time that she really is that bitch. The outro is just a vibe. Step on My Toes is an insane way to end the record. You can really tell that she was having fun when she was recording this, and I do feel like compared to Balut, it's a stronger ending to the album. In spite of an extremely unconventional launch, I think that Scarlet is the most Doja record to date. It's confident to the edge of arrogance, it's brash to the point of being offensive, it's a statement record for an artist who loves to push the limits and push back against the rules and expectations of celebrity in this modern day. I say this with no shade, but any other artist would merely try to recapture their previous success, but I think that the creative risks that Doja's made paid off. And while some of her personal choices in her life are questionable, I have to say her dedication to rejecting parasocial relationships with fans is pretty admirable. Scarlet is a big middle finger, while also reclaiming her individuality, and for that I have to give it a solid 8.5. And that's a wrap. Okay, so that was a really quick review. I was not planning on making a review about Scarlet, but the album had just resonated with me in my personal life. For me, at least, it's an undeniable record. Feel free to sound off in the comment section if you liked it or not, or if you felt like one half was better than the other. A lot of people that I've talked to have had mixed opinions on the album, which is interesting. I love that. Quick shout out to my members. Thank you so much for supporting my channel, and my subscribers. You guys rock. I'm still in the process of editing 2 special videos for this week. I can't believe I'm posting as much as I am, so I will see you next video. Thank you so much.